guys, back with another reaction video. This time the request is for a song by a band called Clayhill, and the song is called Afterlight. Now whenever I was searching for this song, I could see the Dead Man's Shoes, the film, the Shane Meadows film came up, and I know that film. I've seen that a few times, so I'll have heard this song before. But you know, it's a request, so I'm going to do it anyway. Looks like this is going to be a audio only, no video. We'll still go for it anyway. So yeah, Clayhill Afterlight. 3, 2, 1, go. So, getting 3 instruments in the instrumentation at the moment. It sounds like a guitar on the left hand side. There's something, I don't think it's a mandolin, but there's something like that in the right hand channel, and then there's a double bass in the background. The chord progression itself is reminding me a little bit of Hotel California by the Eagles.
When the dust is settled, will you make it back? Our days will number, our days will rag.
Okay, so fairly unusual production in the sense that the guitar, at least, it's kind of pretty hard pan to the left. Sounds like it's got a little bit of room ambience going on, you know, bit of reverb. The vocal that's down the middle sounds incredibly dry. You know, sounds like the vocalist is right pretty much here, right against the microphone. Whispered, doesn't sound like a lot of power coming from the vocal in the style. But, you know, very, very, very dry vocal, very immediate.
We fought and we lost through Indian night.
We're even kind of missing some of his in the pronunciation of the words. I don't know, it's maybe just his style, and he's singing the word night. You don't hear the t at the end. It almost sounds like that's being chopped off by, say, a noise gate or something. You know, perhaps there's a bit too much ambient noise in wherever they recorded the song, and they've got some sort of aggressive noise gate on there to reduce any sort of unwanted ambient sounds, and that's maybe taking some of the vocal away as well. I could be off on that, and again, it could be just the case of his vocal. Maybe his style is that he's sort of dropping off words and not finishing them intentionally. I'll go back a little bit and run that.
Yesterday's light. We must aspire.
I do quite like the way that this is very sparse music, and again, we're really hearing that now. I'm pretty sure that's not a mandolin. It's possibly just another guitar that's played higher up the fretboard. But you know, guitar on this channel, guitar on this, just 2 separate musical parts, not playing the same thing. Getting the double bass there, which is a sort of different, less bright sound, more like a rounder, warm, rich kind of tone, and then the vocal in the middle. So I'm really only hearing, what's that, 2 guitars, bass and vocal. Sounds like there's only 4 things going on here.
We must aspire.
I think there's more actually. It sounds like there's possibly 2 guitars on the left now.
Rage in my skull. All we've become to make darkest cloud was yesterday's light.
Wow. Okay, so a little bit more going on there texturally. Hard to know exactly what's being used there to achieve those kind of more ambient textures. I mean, it sounds like, you know, sounding like kind of like a violin, but I guess if it's on the double bass, there's been a double bass going along here. Possibly those sort of textural kind of bowed sounds, possibly done on that double bass again, and any of the sort of clicking noises and different things, it's possibly just different parts of the double bass that's being used really here, but very effective. That bit there reminded me a little bit of sort of a certain period of Tom Waits music, which has like an incredibly raw, almost a kind of scrapyard kind of feel. I don't mean that in a bad way, just sounds, has a certain sound to it, that's really unusual. So yeah, getting a bit of a Tom Waits vibe there. Let's go back a little bit.
When the people have vanished, will you make it home? Our days of squander, our days of song.
Actually, now that I've mentioned the Tom Waits thing, that's sort of staying there as I'm going on for me. Even in the vocal, it doesn't sound completely like Tom Waits, but Tom Waits does, his voice sort of changed throughout the years, but one thing it always did sort of contain was a sort of naturally gruff kind of sound, which then sort of become more and more pronounced, as time went on. But there's an album by Tom Waits called Alice, which has a lot of acoustic instrumentation going on. I'm getting a little bit of a feel, I'll maybe try and find maybe some song off that album and put that in the link underneath as a reference, so don't forget when you're watching these videos to check in the description box for some more info, and I'll frequently link the original video in there, and also any sort of references, from things that I've talked about in there. That sounded more like a violin to me, that. Or, although it's fairly low, could be maybe a viola. Oh yes, okay. So I think it's a viola. It's hard to tell because the range is shifting a little bit, with the strings, and it's very disorientating because it's not just like a typical sort of string quartet. In that here are your stringed instruments and they're all panned in a particularly classical way or whatever. For instance, whenever that what I'm presuming is a viola came in on the left ear, it basically was then. It swept across and went into the left channel there, so it's quite disorientating the way the instruments are moving back and forward. It's over here. No, it's over on the left. I guess that's being used because of the higher notes in the guitar on the right, so maybe in the mix it needs to find space on the left. The bass line actually there, I'm sort of detected a little bit come out there, rather than it just sort of being bum, bum, and moving, there is a bit of rhythm, bit of a groove, dum, bum, ba-da-ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-da-ba-dum. Heard something like that there. I'm not sure if that was sustained the whole way through this chorus, but a little bit of a groove going on there. Run it back maybe 10 seconds or so.
Raging my skull. All we've become to make it seem right.
Not hearing any backing vocals at all or any harmonies, just that dry vocal straight down the middle.
It was yesterday's light.
Unusual sort of textures are really reminiscent of Tom Waits. And then the pizzicato strings as well add a nice unsettling feel. Bum, bum, bum. You band on whatever that was. Yeah, like this. That's one I feel I would need to really revisit and spend a bit of attention on the lyrics to see really what the story. Obviously, I'm focusing very much on the production and the instrumentation throughout. I really did like the tone of the voice. Didn't really get much of the words coming through apart from today's. What was it? Today's darkest cloud was yesterday's light. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed this one, and like I said, it seems it's come from the Dead Man's Shoes film, which is really good, worth checking out if you haven't watched it. So score out of 10, I think I would rate this fairly high. I give this maybe a 7.5, 7.5 out of 10. So thanks for this one, and I'll see you all again. Thanks.